This is the Spirit Gathering teleconference. Today is January 21st, 2020. My name is Healer and Counselor Sally Ekaireb. Our topic this evening is Service Awakens, the I Am. We're so glad you've joined us. Who do we have on the call at this point?
Ying.
Welcome. I'm glad you've joined us. All right. So, this evening we're going to meet as a conversation council. And what that means is that you may speak at any time, only taking care to let the current speaker finish before you begin. And just be clear when you are completing what you want to say, and then I'll know when to come back. So let's start the convocation. Let's take a moment now to get settled, to center ourselves, to let go of the events of this day and begin to enter the deeper, sacred space within ourselves. Let us imagine that we are going together, sacred heart to sacred heart, with every other person on this call right now. And now, let us imagine that we are joining together in a circle with a light or flame or fire in the center. Imagine a spoke of light coming from the center of your heart, and for each person on the call tonight, or listening in afterwards. Now we are all connected, sacred heart to sacred heart. Now let us set our intentions. We listen to one another with compassion and curiosity. We ask for what we need and offer what we can. We deepen our connection with one another, us, our communities, and the planet. And so it is. Our program outline for this evening is that I will share on this evening's topic, which is service as a means for awakening the spirit or soul, what may be called the I Am. I will then open the forum for others to share on the topic. We will then move into a silent meditation to bring the energy of love and light to tonight's program as we focus on our awareness on the topic of service. We will then have a second opportunity to share, and then I will move to the closing. I am so happy to be here this evening, engaged in communication with you all. Every year, as the year comes to an end, I take time and reflect on the events, joys, sorrows, achievements, and losses of the year. Then, as the new year begins, I have a sense of gratitude for all the blessings in my life and the perspective about what I struggled with in the past. It helps me access how I am living my life and what my actions have produced. One of the things I have noticed more and more over time is how service plays an important role in my life. For as much as I contribute to others, I receive blessings in return. So this evening, we will focus on what service means to each of us and how, for me, it has been instrumental in increasing my awareness of who I am as a person, and more importantly, connecting to the spiritual being that I am. Throughout my life, I have been involved in charitable works. This occurred through the church, Girl Scouts, school programs, and other organizations. As a mother, I took on the self-sacrificing role that so many women do. My children were front and center in my life. The nurturing parental role that I took on and continue to play expresses a very profound level of service. And I have learned so much about the loving being that I am, as well as the barriers that I have regarding love from my relationships to my children. Additionally, I took care of my parents as their health eroded. It was a fascinating experience to see the role flip as I went from the child who received the nurturing and protecting to the adult who nurtured and protected her parents. This experience of giving back to my parents was very special. It felt like coming full circle in the relationship, or as Elton John's song goes, in the circle of life. I so cherished being able to care for my mother as she reverted to her little child that my grandparents had expressed when they used to tell stories about their little Margie. Welcome. Is someone joining us?
Yes. Hi, Sally. It's Diane. I'm so sorry to be late.
That's fine. I've started the recording. So let's continue. During this time, I would take a week out of every month to fly to Ohio and be with Mom. We would often go out to the movies together and then to dinner when we were walking, I had to hold her arm to keep her safe, just like I had held my children's hands to keep them safe. I remember thinking how sweet, joyful, and funny she could be, and how nice it was to feel so close to her. I realized with sadness that it took the onset of dementia for her to relax her hold on everyone else's lives and to allow others to care for her. When she let go of being in charge, we were able to establish a whole other way of being, and a new level of intimacy was achieved. That and being present when she was in the process of transitioning were among the greatest gifts I have ever received from her. And I would not have been present to receive them if I had not chosen to take time each month to fly to Ohio and be with her and be of service to her. Taking on the role of loving daughter, of engaging in love through service, or perhaps service through love, allowed for levels of intimacy that we had never shared before. I felt so close to her, yet the closeness did not come from our discussions. It came from my opening my heart and expressing love in this whole new way. And it came from her receiving love in a whole new way. While I regret that it took us over 50 years to achieve this connection, I am also so thankful that we did achieve it. For how many people never do? When she passed, I felt complete about our relationship in a way I would not have thought possible only a few years previously. The anger, resentments, and petty judgments all dissolved as I focused on caring for her. They were replaced by compassion, kindness, sensitivity, and love. I developed a greater expression of who I truly am. I came to know myself as the love, just as I came to experience and understand my mother as an expression and through the expression of love. As I have gotten older and more mature, I have found that contributing to my community has become a fundamentally important part of my life. Caring and contributing to others creates meaning in my life. It also gives me a profound sense of well-being. I feel good when I focus my energy on tasks that I know help other people. It can be as simple as cleaning out the closets so that the extra coat hat owners who have greater need than I do for these items. Or it can be working with the local food bank so that the many food insecure families in Western North Carolina can have healthy and nutritious food that week. I also find that as I serve others, they serve me. I have taken on teaching classes and organizing a meditation program for seniors at the local university and community college. It is a lot of work to put these classes and programs together. However, I benefit as much as the students do. Gathering the information, organizing the information, and making lesson plans and presentations teaches me new things. Additionally, my students will contribute information to the class, and the dynamic of everyone contributing to one another just keeps evolving. Everyone benefits from this amazing vortex of energy, for a whole new community has grown around the service I have done. While I could discuss the other groups that I serve, I think it is more important to focus on what I have discovered to be true for me through service. When I am engaged in some active service, I am fully engaged. I am present in the moment. I am connected with myself and with the other person or persons. This connection is different from that of a typical social exchange. It is as if my ego or my personality takes a back seat, and I am able to express my inner virtues more fully. Furthermore, the more I express love and compassion, the more they become part of my natural expression. I have become a more loving and compassionate person because of the service I have performed and continue to perform. I have also come to find that I am really happy in a very profound way when I am serving other people. Doing good makes me feel good. I feel a sense of joy when my thoughts, words, and actions make a difference in other people's lives. Knowing that I have improved someone's life in some way, even if it is only temporary or minor, makes me happy. when I think of Jesus, I think of a man who committed his life to a ministry of serving others, relieving the pain of others. His ministry was based on love and understanding that he, even as a mortal man, was an expression or reflection of love of God the Father. So I, too, strive to achieve that level of expression of love through service. I am sure that each of you have many experiences with service and thoughts about how it has affected you and your evolution in life. I'd like to take time now to hear other people's thoughts on this subject, and then we can reflect quietly and put the energies of light and love on this subject. So I'd like to open the circle now for about 10 minutes of sharing, and then we can follow by about 15 minutes for us to be and transmit love and life. Please remember to unmute your line before talking and let us know when you're complete with your share. So the circle is now open.
So, Sally, this is Diane, and I caught just the portion, as you know, from when you had the big heart opening with your mother's condition that allowed for other openings to happen with you. And I appreciate that thread and how that enhanced your life with her, but then going forward, the service that you've been able to offer from that opening. And I just really appreciate you sharing that, and I'm very struck by that. Thank you.
Thank you. And that is a wonderful point, because as we open our hearts, it gives us more potential to share in new ways, not just with that one individual, but in other relationships. So I appreciate your focusing on that aspect. Ying, would you like to add anything, or shall we move to our meditation?
Meditation.
Thank you. So what I'd like to do now is take about 20 minutes, and we can use whatever forms of energy, transmission, and meditation that are available to us to bring light and love and flow on the topic of service and the awakening that it can bring about in the lives of those who engage. And I will keep track of the time then. Good. Thank you. And now let's take a moment or two to come back, settle, feel more firmly rooted in our bodies and present with each other in a more grounded way. And when you feel that you are, shall we say, back again, just let us know and say, I'm back. Thank you.
I'm back.
I'm back.
Great. Well, thank you. I now wanted to invite each of you to comment on what is present for you before we move into our closing. So what there is from this evening that you will take away in your heart and mind as you leave in a few minutes. And let me start. What I'd like to take away is the resonance that I was feeling as I touched in on service. That one of the things I wanted to explore tonight was how service is not just an action, but it's a consciousness and an intent, and that is expressed through a vibration. So that's what I'd like to take with me.
This is Diane. What's present for me is gratitude, especially around synchronicity. Earlier this evening, I was working on some heart opening and for myself, and doing some energy work around that. And I just find it so interesting that the portion of the presentation that I heard was, and what I dialed into was the heart opening and how much more service can be given from that. So I'm just really appreciating the synchronicity and appreciating another aspect of heart opening and service. Thank you. I'm complete.
This is Ying. I like to take away from tonight is a very deep peace and comfort. And service. Thank you.
Okay, in closing, I would like to thank you for joining us in the Spirit Gathering teleconference. The call may be archived as an MP3 at www.tzaddi.org. That's tzaddi.org. Phone access to the recording of this call is available until next month's call. For playback of the recording, dial 712-432-5788. 1085 with access code 990322 #. We hope you'll join us for our next Spirit Gathering on Tuesday, February 18th, 2020. These calls are hosted by Tzaddi, an interspiritual metaphysical organization founded in California in 1964. Tzaddi welcomes, nurtures, and supports people in celebrating and more directly experiencing their relationship with the loving presence of the divine. Our programs are open to people of any race, color, or national or ethnic origin. Visit www.tzaddi.org to learn more. We will now close with thanks and a blessing. Thanks to Tzaddi founders Amy Keys and Dorothy Blackmere. Thanks to all of you who have been a part of our community tonight, and thanks to the divine who supports us always, even when we are not aware of it. The blessing I'd like to read tonight is a Scottish blessing from Celtic blessings from other sources. May the blessing of light be on you, light without and light within. May the blessed sunlight shine on you like a great peat fire, so that the stranger and friend may come and warm himself at it. And may the light shine out of the two eyes of you like a candle set in the windows of a house, bidding the wanderer to come in out of the storm. And may the blessing of the rain be on you. May it beat upon your spirit and wash it fair and clean, and leave there a shining pool where the blue of heaven shines, and sometimes a star. And may the blessing of the earth be on you, soft under your feet as you pass along the road, soft under you as you lie out on it, tired at the end of day. And may it rest easy over you when, at last, you lie under it. May it rest so lightly over it quickly, up and off and on its way to God. And now, may the Lord bless you and bless you kindly. Amen. And so it is. Good night. I wish each and every one of you a good night.